Good morning. It is now 1 week. I've been in the studio 1 week, and I really want to talk to you. Well, this time last week I was just starting. I gave you the first talk here in the studio. Today, what I want to do is to give you a little history lesson. History, even though it's only just over 100 years that Queenstown has existed, it seems that history is pervading my time here, that keeps entering into the consciousness of the town and my stay here. I've had a number of trips, a number of visits coming through my front door into the studio of geologists, quite eminent geologists from all over Australia already, and that's only in a week. It seems to have a great pull, not only to tourists, but also to geological people, of fascination with this extraordinary and beautiful place. So each morning, just to say, each morning at 6:30, I get up and I walk with Raymond and Helena and their 4 dogs. Their whippets, Guinness, Jack, Joe and Ollie, who's the boss. And so we walk around up in the hills before the snakes wake up. And it is an extraordinary place. So what I'm really seeing in this is this mining community that over 100 years ago, when they moved in, they started gobbling up all the wood resources. So up until 20 years ago, the whole of these valleys here had no trees at all. It was devoid of trees because they'd all been burnt and used to stoke the furnaces, but the smelting. But that's growing back now. So what you've got is a landscape that is more like the lakes or parts of northern England and Scotland. It feels one thing really to say is that the town is waiting to hear about whether the mine's going to be open. Now the mine, you're talking about a community of 2,000 people here, and you've got over 300 people involved in the mine, of course their families and that. So the mine being closed, it has an enormous kind of knock-on effect to the town. So there's a kind of a sadness and a melancholy about the place. Even in this wonderful, beautiful weather. There's a kind of sense of deep loss and aching and waiting. There's elections coming up this week, so there's kind of a lot happening. There's been a bank holiday yesterday. And on the bank holiday yesterday, I was taken to a beautiful reservoir, a flooded area. And in that middle of that flooded area, we went on a canoe out to this island. And on this island was the remains of a whole township, and where the smelting places were. Now this is called Crotty, and it failed. It was backed by Scottish money, and it failed in about 1903 after massive amounts of money was put into it. They couldn't get the smelting right. And so what happened was that they just left. So it was ruined. And the mine was bought by a German-American who successfully was able to do what these other mining engineers couldn't and smelters couldn't do, and made a great success for it. And that is what is Queenstown. So it's interesting, yesterday I was kind of connecting a failed venture and a successful venture, but yet this venture, which is still very prevalent, this huge mine, which I'm hoping to visit today, that kind of interconnectedness of exploration and failing and geology, but the lake where I was very, very beautiful, had a lovely picnic. So I'm surrounded by beautiful landscape, really beautiful landscape, but yet with this recent 100-year history of exploration and great hardship. Interesting thing, the houses are all made of wood and corrugated iron roofs, all kind of bungalow size shape. Quite beautiful. Some of them are quite hodgepodge, you know, added to, and so quite creative, but always has a kind of temporary feel about it. So the mining thing, I suppose, has entered into the piece of work which you see. Oh, sorry, that way. That drawing was, it popped out, was a kind of like an exhibit that you look at, and because what's happening underneath pervades all the time. Raymond, on my first day I came here, as we drove down into Queenstown before I arrived, he showed me the iron blow, and hopefully I'm going to have some photographs to show you that. But if you look onto Queenstown iron blow on the internet, you'll get some pictures of it. It is a huge, deep, so open cast going down and down and down, and then right down it goes really, really way down into the earth, and then they send out tunnels either side of it. Now the iron blow's finished, and it's got this beautiful green lake at the bottom because of the copper. And then there's a new mine which I'm hoping to visit today, which is the one that's being closed at the moment and hoping to reopen. So meanwhile, in the last few days, I've had some painting, which you see the big painting behind me is, sorry, that way, is developing very well. These kind of floating forms are becoming more solid. Anyway, that's coming along. There's the geology exhibit. There's a couple. That one there. There's that new one. Sorry, that new one there behind me. So there's a number of different pieces. Then there's these two, which are kind of resting for the moment. So I've been very busy the first week. And I'm very pleased. I'm very pleased the way this is going. I'm hoping there's going to be another 2 of these big paintings. We're just going to get some more canvas from Hobart. And so there's going to be another pair. So 3 large paintings in all, I hope. And a multitude of lots of little smaller pieces. But that's the kind of way it's going at the moment. So that's about it for today. And hopefully I'm going to be visiting the mine and the iron blow. And I can report back to you how things go there. Okay. Have a nice day.